Oh, hey, welcome Twitch. Um, yeah, so I've been AFK for like a month, so I haven't streamed. Life has been busy, but there's always something new and exciting in the world of education technology, and so today we're going to take a look at something that's been available for a while, and that is dictation input and software. Like you have to understand, I'm 40, and I came from special ed. I currently teach special ed, and I got my start as a young educator, as a paraeducator in special ed. And so I remember the days of the old Dragon Naturally Speaking dictation software, and it was horrible. So I used to assist students through the complicated process of setting up their profiles and creating their personal dictionaries and training the software to recognize their voice. And like, you don't have to go through any of that today. In today's world of tech, the technological evolution has been phenomenal over the past 20 years, really. Was when I first laid my hands on dictation software and guided students through it. So we're going to take a look at two of them that are fairly accessible. Google Drive voice input is just accessible everywhere you go, and free of charge. Microsoft Word is a little bit newer with its dictation uh, engine and command. You could see here, like we could dictate, and this is something that Microsoft has been building into Office. So it's gone across Office. So you're viewing the Windows 10 version of OneNote, and we actually can just dictate within OneNote as well. We might do that in OneNote. We're actually going to go do it in Word because that's more likely where a student. Excuse me, as I hiccup. That's more likely where a student is going to end up using it. But then also in Google, because with Google's apps for education, students are likely to come across the dictation input and to use that as well. So what I'd like to do, and again, as an educator, I'm going to push digital books as much as I can, and I've done streams on how to borrow books digitally. So we're going to jump in and open up a cookbook that I've actually borrowed from the library, and I'm going to push these dictation engines as fast and as hard as I can. And then if we have time, we're actually going to look at something super exciting about the Office Lens app. And that's something that it came to the iOS version of Office Lens first, but now it's also in Android. Super exciting. The Immersive Reader, which I've covered before in previous streams, we'll take a look at what it does in Windows 10. I'll kind of rehash some of the features that I've covered in the past with what the Immersive Reader can do. And then we're going to go in and take a look at what it does on a phone. So this amazing technology, really for students with learning disabilities and dyslexia in particular, the Immersive Reader has been this godsend and just this phenomenal resource that's completely free of charge and available. You can do a little bit more with it if you either have your own Office 365 account or if you belong to an organization that subscribes to Office 365. Um, I happen to have both, right? So I work for a school district that subscribes to Office 365, but I went ahead and, for the purposes of this stream specifically, I went ahead and subscribed to Office 365 personally. We're going to get a benefit from that if anyone in my stream is connected to the district that I work for, you're not going to see in the computers that we have, because unfortunately our Office 365 subscription through the district that I work in does not feature the most fully updated version of Office. So, I mean, we have Office 2016, we'll get Office 2019, but our particular update of Office 2016 is going to lack the dictation command. So you're going to see it here, you're going to see it in Word. We might even go into PowerPoint if you want. It's the same engine that Microsoft is trying to push across all of the Office products, and we're going to test it versus Google Drive, the voice input command. We might also launch into my phone. We've done this in the past in previous streams. I might also go into my phone and just launch through Gboard. Keep in mind, both if you're on iOS and you're on Android, you can install Gboard on your phone, and excuse me here, so wrong window. And Gboard has Google's voice dictation engine built into it. So we're gonna take a look. Oh no, what happened here? I'm trying to display my phone, which is going to be important later on in the stream. I might have to take a break and troubleshoot this, but let's see here. Oh, okay, so hang on. Okay, so we'll take a break before, because I'm going to have to monkey with my graphics card a little bit to get my phone to display properly. And actually, maybe not. Let me see if there's always a second way around. There's always a way around things. I was trying to use the Windows 10 Visor app, and if that ain't going to do it for me, I can always launch the Chrome extension. So let's see if the Chrome extension behaves for us. And give it to us. Yeah, it's going to work. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Okay, I've got my phone displayed here. So we can go in. We're gonna go in and we're gonna just read. So I might just read off of my phone and just launch the Libby app. But it depends on what we end up with. So we're gonna start with Word in the dictation command. And actually, let's do that. Why not? Because I'm here and I've already got this. So okay, let me get my glitter pen. Wacom tablet pen is still saddled there. So. What are we going to do here? Okay, so I'm going to launch Microsoft Word. So keep in mind, I have an Office 365 subscription that includes the latest version of Microsoft Word and an update that was pushed out to Microsoft Office. I believe it was earlier this month. It might have been last month, but it was pretty recent because I follow Microsoft's education Twitter accounts. And that is from the home tab in your primary ribbon. You now have this dictate command, and again, this is nothing new. This has been available, and we've seen things like this in other software packages. This is something that's particularly new to Microsoft Word. The unique advantage to this versus what I'm going to do with Google is, of course, this is offline. So if you're running a laptop and you don't have an internet connection, you'll be able to run this online or offline. So I'm gonna pull up my phone and let's just bring up a cookbook. Why not? I borrowed a cookbook from the library here, and I like to squeeze in as many advertisements about ed tech as possible. So, and there's probably a more optimal way for me to do this. All right, so let's just go to my bookshelf. We're going to go here, the Twisted Cookbook, and we're just going to go right into it and read it. And I'm going to go into the intro or the forward, and we're just going to test Microsoft Word's dictation engine. So let's go back to the beginning. Oh, hang on. We're already in some recipes here. Eggs Benedicto. So we're going to go to the intro, and I'm going to be fairly unforgiving. I'm going to read fast. I'm not going to pause, or I'm not going to deliberately enunciate long, multi-syllabic words. I'm not going to deliberately enunciate uncommon words. I'm just going to read through this, the entire paragraph, and I'm going to see what happens here and how Microsoft Word's dictation engine performs. So you can see here what I'm going to read, and you can see here on this screen what Microsoft Word does with it. So let's have a look at it and see how it performs. See how it performs. And so first of all here, okay, let's make sure we choose the correct language here. There's multi-language support already built into this dictation tool, and I'm just going to click it and start reading. Keep in mind, I'm going to speak punctuations because that's how dictation engines work. So people with disabilities who rely upon this kind of input will often have to speak their punctuations. When I coach students that, whether or not they have disabilities, if I coach students who have historic trouble in performing in school, when I show them how to use these kinds of tools, I'll typically coach them to speak one sentence at a time, pause the dictation software, and then make sure that it read them correctly. But since we're testing this for performance, we're just going to push this. I'm going to read just this entire, is this, I don't know if this is a paragraph or a page. Let's just go back to Libby here. Oops, come on, Libby. Okay, so I'm going to have to, and I probably should have pulled the book up on a web browser so I could get more text on the screen, but that's okay. I like the larger font size for the stream so that you could follow along. So let's see what this does. I'm just going to click dictate and we're going to go. Yes, okay, turn it on. Nobody reads those things. I'm sure there was a privacy warning. Okay, let's try that one more time. Click dictate. Having a meal with others is something we do a hell of a lot, period. It's also common, we believe common, one of the most underrated, underestimated, and misunderstood rituals in life, period. We take it for granted, period. We must eat to survive, sure, but this fact breeds complacency, period. Too often we retire from dinner browbeaten from heated conversation and lumpy mashed potato, period. Every time you get the round table, or plonk yourself down in front of the game with pals, you should be smiling, but that's often easier said than done, period. Looks like it self-paused itself. Either that or I accidentally hit the arrow key when I didn't mean to. I meant to switch pages, so let's go these last couple sentences. We know the feeling, semicolon. You've flicked through every cookbook and food channel going, but you still don't know what to make for dinner, period. Your taste buds are calling out for something new, a little bit naughty, and quite possibly wrapped in bacon, period. So let's take a look at this. I'm just going to take this and let's just paste it into OneNote for safekeeping, just so we can preserve what we've done here in stream. It's something that I like to do. I like to kind of pay attention to and keep a record of what we're doing in stream here. So we're going to title this one MS Word Dictation. This is what it got for us. Oh, that's terrible. Let's change this to heading text. How about bigger? Let's go page title text. Okay. Now keep in mind, I prefer to choose a formatting style versus a font size, and I think in a previous stream I promised to show you guys the difference. I'm not ready to do that tonight, but I'll show in one of these streams because I like to focus on accessibility and tools for people with disabilities to focus on technology. We're going to take a look at the difference between using font formatting styles or formatting styles like this, and then just plain simply increasing font size, which is not the intelligent thing to do. So I'll show you what the consequence is of for people who rely on screen readers. So if you have a visual disability and you're relying on a screen reader to describe what's on the screen for you, it is atrocious to have to listen to it because it'll dictate all of the font size changes to such an individual. And that's just overall a terrible experience. So maybe someday, hopefully by the end of December or by the end of this calendar year, we'll be able to we'll take a look at that stream or that particular feature. Come on. So let's see here. Having a meal with others is something we do a hell of a lot. Hey, I kind of like this. So this technically was inaccurate because of how fast I was speaking, but it's kind of cool that the dictation engine picked up on the common term hell of a, right? So instead of hell of a in 3 words, it used the singular word hell of a, which became common speak in, I don't know, the 90s, maybe earlier. So we have a problem here with the punctuation, so it didn't punctuate or capitalize the beginnings of my sentences, and that's not the end of the world. But let's see, it's also it missed a comma, So it mistook me here for I said comma, but it thought I said the word common, and it did it twice. One of the most underrated commas, so I got that. Underestimated should have been one word, but I don't think that's the end of the world. Comma again, so maybe it was my enunciation, maybe I was going too fast. Misunderstood rituals in life. We take it for granted. We must eat to survive. Comma, sure, okay, but this fact breeds complacency. Okay, so it's doing pretty darn good. Too often, we retire from dinner, where I'm lost here on the screen. We retire from dinner browbeaten. Okay, so that one wasn't hyphenated. I think they went browbeaten. It recognizes browbeating from heated conversation and lumpy mashed potato. Not sure why it capitalized mashed. Maybe that's a particularly special potato preparation, but I don't know. Every time you get this, you get the round table or plonk yourself. Okay, so it missed yourself down, or it missed yourself. It should have been plonk yourself, not plonk herself. In front of the game with pals, you should be smiling, but that's often easier said than done. Okay, so then it self-paused while we had to advance text. We know the feeling. That's pretty good. Did I say semicolon? I might have actually said semicolon instead of colon. So that would have been my mistake. You've flicked, so missed me there. Through every cookbook and food channel going, but you still don't know what to make for dinner. Your taste buds are calling out for something new, a little bit naughty, and quite possibly wrapped in bacon. Okay, so not too shabby. So let's highlight the places where it's sort of, for better or for worse, either misunderstood me, now even whether or not I like it. I'm just going to go in here and accept. There's something going on with my pen here. Thank you very much. So let's just go in and highlight the problematic parts of it because, okay, so Helva, even though I liked this one, was wrong. So it misunderstood me twice with the word comma. It thought I said common, even though it correctly detected me in the other times. And then what's with this? I don't even know what that word is. Too often retire browbeaten and lumpy mashed potato. I don't understand this, so I'm gonna go ahead and highlight that because that's just a peculiarity. Plonk yourself down. Should have been yourself, not plonk herself. Okay, I'm gonna give them a pass on this semicolon because I think I actually said semicolon. And so that's it. So if we want to count those, we get, and I don't want my glitter pen because everything's better with glitter. So let's count. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, nope, missed one. Missed one. So was that 8 then? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we had 8. 8 misreads. Oh, that's. I'm gonna fix that. 1mm lead. Okay, so 8. Misses. We'll just call them. Can I even spell tonight? Maybe I should go to bed. Maybe I should drink some wine. That's 8 misses. So let's find out if whether or not that's good. We don't know yet. We're going to compare this to, and I'm going to go to Google Drive. So let's do this. Okay, so let's go to drive.google.com. And I'm going to open up a document that I just call voice typing. Same text. This is going to be the same text. So it works a little bit different in Google. So if you're in Google Drive on a PC or a laptop, you want to go to the Tools menu. It's built right into it, the voice typing. So Control-Shift-S is your shortcut. And what it'll do is it'll drop a toggle here in the margins beyond your page border. And you just click to speak. It'll be red when it's recording. And we're going to give this a shot. Having a meal with others is something we do a hell of a lot. It's also common, we believe common, one of the most underrated, common, underestimated. Okay, I'm going to start that over because I screwed up. Okay, let's try that again. Oops, undo that. Let's try that again. Helps if you read a little bit better than I did. Okay, so we're going to try this again. Having a meal with others is something we do a hell of a lot, period. It's also common, we believe common. Why do I keep saying common? Did I do that the first time? I thought I said comma. This ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna be a very successful test here if I can't read without screwing up. Having a meal with others is something we do a hell of a lot, period. It's also, comma, we believe, comma, one of the most underrated, comma, underestimated, comma, and misunderstood rituals in life, period. We take it for granted, period. We must eat to survive, comma, sure, comma, but this fact breeds complacency, period. Too often we retire from dinner browbeaten from heated conversation and lumpy mashed potato, period. Every time you get around the table or plonk yourself down in front of the game with pals, period. Sorry, I screwed that one up. You should be smiling, comma, but that's often easier said than done, period. We know the feeling. It paused itself again. We know the feeling, colon. You've flicked through every cookbook and food channel going, comma, but still don't know what to make for dinner, period. Your taste buds are calling out for something new, comma, a little bit naughty, comma, and quite possibly wrapped in bacon, period. And this could be like, I screwed up quite a bit. I think perhaps I should have a little bit more to drink tonight. So let's add a page here. Let's say Google Drive voice typing so people don't get that confused with the Google Voice service. Love Google Voice. Okay, so let's go through and spot the mistakes here. All right, so, and this possibly is not a very good test just because of how often I screwed up reading. And I was trying to rush myself. So a hell of a lot was correctly detected here by Google. Rituals missed. And we're just... yeah, rituals was detected as rich was. So it got browbeaten correctly. That's interesting. It just didn't hyphenate it. And then it did not capitalize mashed potato. So this here, I actually said period. So we're not going to count that one against them. So I said period instead of comma. And then colon, so it misdetected punctuation here. And that was my stream. I haven't checked OBS here. I think it was the last time I streamed, I had quite a problem with dropped frames, and my CPU hit was just insane. My CPU was taking like a 98% hit here and there, and then I actually was getting kicked from Twitch from Streamlabs OBS. Okay, so last paragraph here. And food going. I don't know why. So, this is interesting. So I don't know if this is a mistake or not. It capitalized food channel. So I'm not sure about it. We're going to count that against him, but we'll count it as one mistake. So instead of 2, it'll be 1 mistake. I don't think it should have capitalized that. So what we have here, jury says, 1, 2, 3 mistakes in our very, very unscientific test. 3 misses versus 8. Okay, maybe that wasn't fair. Maybe that was not the best way to test this. So let's go to some lower level reading. So I'm going to go into Whatever After. This is the latest Whatever After. If you haven't read any of the Sarah Lanowski books from the Whatever After series, if you have daughters, you've got to get them hooked onto this series. There are, I think, 11 books in this series. And then the 12th one is coming up. So you can see right here, this is book 11 in the series, Two Peas in a Pod. It's a fantastic modernized take on fairy tales. So it centers around a brother and sister. The sister's older and her name is Abby, and the younger brother's named Jonah. And they move to a fairly suburban area from, I think, Chicago. Can't remember where they were from, but the girl's grandmother was a literature professor and read all of the original fairy tales to them. So the Brothers Grimm versions, the Hans Christian Andersen's versions. So she read original literature to these children, and the older sister remembers it. She's about 11 or 12. The older sister remembers the original versions of these fairy tales. They move out to these suburbs somewhere in the Midwest, and the house they move into has a magic mirror that transports them into fairy tales, but everything's different and weird and odd and modernized in the fairy tale. And so the adventures are of Abby and Jonah kind of interacting with these. Sometimes they're princesses, or sometimes they're not princesses from a princess fairy tale, so to speak. And the stories don't end the way we expect them to. They end in a much more modern fashion, and in a way that would be more empowering to girls and women. So, soapbox aside, we're going to go in and read this book, lower the reading level a little bit, and let's run through this again. We're not going to read an entire chapter because I'd be reading for 12 or 15 minutes if that were the case. But we are going to go back to my 6-year-old daughter and I. We just started reading this book recently, so we're only through chapter 3, I think. So I'm going to go back to the beginning. I don't know why I'm doing this. We can skip chapters. We're going to go back to why don't we start with chapter 1? Stream. If you've never experienced these books before, we'll go back to chapter 1. So, and then this time I'm not going to push. We're just going to go back. In fact, let's... Ooh, oh no, that was a bad idea. I forgot the inking didn't come with it. Okay, so let's go back. Let's document this as attempt number 2. Excuse me. So we're going to go children's literature, and then we're going to give this a try. And this time I'm just going to kind of read at a natural pace. I'm not going to try to push. I'll just try to read through this naturally, and then let's find out what happens when... and again, we're going to start with Microsoft Word. We're going to let Microsoft lead the way. So chapter 1, Too Bad, So Sad. You know when you want something so much and you're 99.9% sure you're going to get it, question mark? But there's a teensy chance you won't, question mark. Parentheses, only a very teensy chance, period, parentheses. Okay, so maybe that wasn't fair. I'm going to go back here and try that again because I may have misspoke that. So the parentheses might work differently. So let's try this again. Open parentheses. Only a very teensy chance, period. Close parentheses. No. Okay, so we're going to be fair to it here. So I'll just call that a sentence. Only a very teensy chance, period. And you can't eat or sleep or do anything but think about how excited you're going to be when you do get it? Question mark. Carriage return. Now that was interesting. I didn't know how to start a new paragraph. Let's experiment with this. Enter, enter. That's not it either. Keep in mind, very first time I'm using this, or second time I should say, so I'm learning right alongside with you if this is new to you. I'm just trying to figure out how to tell this thing to put spaces in. Double space. Okay, let's go to the help menu. Shall we? I'm going to go to customize the ribbon, and I'm looking for more in the voice group. So we're gonna go all commands. I'm gonna try to search through the voice group first. I'm just looking for more settings, or even just a help guide would be useful. Okay, let's look under the dictate category. Aha, dictate menu. Okay, let's add this in here. Custom groups. Where'd you go? Main tabs. Home. Voice. Okay, let's try this here. Oh no, that is all that there is to it, right? Okay, tell me more. We're going to go to the help menu. I don't do this very often. Here we go. Add punctuation. New line. Aha. Okay. Okay, so let's proceed. New line. That's how I feel about getting picked to be student leader of our school carnival, period. Any second now, comma, the principal is going to name the leader, period. New line. And it's going to be me! Exclamation point. New line. From my seat in the auditorium, I watch as Principal Braun walks onto the stage, period. She taps the microphone, period. Testing 1, 2, comma, she says, period. Oh, the quotes. I paused because I wasn't sure about the quotes. I just sort of started reading, and I'm like, oh. Can we put quotations? Open quotes, close quote. Open quote, close quote. Simple enough. Okay, so we're going to give you a pass on that one. And we'll just put in, we'll test it because we're going to come up across more quotes. Yeah, we'll test it. But now that I know, I can say open and close quote. Okay, back to the dictation. New line. Exclamation point. I can't take the suspense, period. New line. Open quote. And now, comma, close quote. Miss Braun continues, comma, open quote. I will announce who we have chosen to be the student leader of the carnival, period. Close quote. New line. I sit up super straight in my chair, period. My best friend Frankie is sitting on my left side, period. Our other best friend, comma, Robin, comma, is on my right, period. The entire elementary school is here, period. Everyone is excited for the big announcement, comma, but no one is more excited than I am, period. New line. What does the student leader of the carnival do? Question mark. So much! Exclamation point. Like work with the teachers to help plan all the activities, comma, and help decide on fun games, comma, yummy food, comma, and awesome prizes, period. We're going to end it there. So let's take this. So awesome prizes will be the end of that. So let's go back to Onenote. So let's paste this result in here. Before we start counting the mistakes or the misses, let's just go straight to Google. I'm going to make this text title style, and then let's just go straight to Google and then rinse and repeat. And let's see here. Back to Google. And let's try this out with Google. I'm going to see if it takes the same commands. I'm going to try new line and all this stuff, open quote and close quote. Let's see if Google takes it. You know when you want something so much and you're 99.9% sure you're going to get it, question mark, but there's a teensy chance you won't, question mark. Open quote, only a very teensy chance, period, close quote. And you can't think... Let me delete that. I misread it. Eat or sleep or do anything but think about how excited you're going to be when you do get it, question mark. New line. New line. That's how I feel about getting picked to be student leader of our school carnival, period. Any chance now? Second. Comma. The principal is going to name the leader, period. New line. New line. New line. And it's going to be me, exclamation point. New line. New line. New line. From my seat in the auditorium, comma, I watch as Principal Braun walks onto the stage, period. She taps the microphone, period. Open quote. Testing 1, 2, comma, close quote. She says, period. New line. New line. New line. Open quote. And now, comma, close quote. Miss Braun continues, comma. I probably shouldn't continue with these quotes, so let's find out what's going on here. Here, let's look under punctuation here. Oh, okay, I can say new paragraph. That's interesting. Okay, let's start over back here. I'm actually going to start saying new paragraph instead. I'm not going to attempt to do the quotation marks because it doesn't look like they're supported in this particular keyboard. I should have checked this before I started. I should have checked this. Oh wow, look at this. You can edit text, you can select text, you can navigate, speak for accessibility. Oh, this might have to be the topic of another stream. Okay, so these are the ones. Period, comma, exclamation point, question mark, new line, new paragraph. So really it's new paragraph. All right, let's launch this and then get through the last few paragraphs here. That's how I feel about getting picked to be student leader of our school carnival, period. Any second now, comma, the principal is going to name the leader, period. New paragraph. And it's going to be me, exclamation point, new paragraph. From my seat in the auditorium, comma, I watch as Principal Braun walks onto the stage, period. She taps the microphone, period. Testing, 1, 2, comma, she says, period. New paragraph. Ah! Exclamation point. I can't take the suspense, new paragraph. And now, comma, Miss Braun continues, comma, I will announce who we have chosen to be the student leader of the carnival, period. New paragraph. I sit up super straight in my chair, period. My best friend Frankie is sitting on my left side, period. Our other best friend, comma, Robin, comma, is on my right, period. The entire elementary school is here, period. Everyone is excited for the big announcement, comma, but no one is more excited than I am, period. New paragraph. What does the student leader of the carnival do? Question mark. So much. Exclamation point. Like, work with the teachers to plan all the activities, comma, and help decide on fun games, comma, yummy food, comma, and awesome prizes, period. Whoa, this missed a whole bunch. And so my CPU was taking a big hit there, so I don't know if that would be fair. Okay, let me try this one more time. We'll pick up from here. And help decide on fun and games, comma, yummy. What am I talking? I don't know what I'm talking about here. Let's just pick up here. Okay. Decide fun games, comma, yummy food, comma, and awesome prizes, period. Big hiccups there. So not particularly impressed with that. This is actually why I used to encourage, or I still do, I encourage my students who are using any kind of a voice keyboard like this to just go ahead and speak one sentence at a time. You can see all the missteps that it had here. I think a lot of it was just through navigation because I was trying to go completely hands-free with this. And that can be frustrating. You can see if somebody was at the mercy of not being able to use a keyboard or a mouse and they were reliant completely on the voice input, this would be pretty frustrating. And it actually, to me, worked better in Word than it did here in Google. So let's go ahead and take this and paste this, and let's start counting the misses. There's going to be a hell of a lot of misses, Google. Google, you disappointed us. You done disappointed us, Google. But that's okay. No one's perfect. So if we go back and launch our highlighter, and I'm still bothered by the fact that Word's not capitalizing sentences. Only a very teeny. So we were foregoing the parentheses, and you can't eat or sleep or do anything but think about how excited you're going to be. Ooh, this is interesting. Do we count this against them that it's the wrong your? I don't know. We'll find out whether or not Google put the other one with the apostrophe, the compound your. That's how I feel about getting picked to be student leader of our school carnival. Any second now, comma. The principal's going to name the leader. Okay, it's good, and it's going to be me. Good. From my seat in the auditorium, I watch. Did it miss the comma here? I don't know if I said it. I was doing such a poor job reading that, and then we'll forgive them for the principal's name there. I'm not really going to count that against them. Testing 1, 2. See, I don't know about this. I didn't say testing 12. I said testing 1, 2. That's Word should recognize the mathematical difference between 1, 2, and 12. Okay, this one's weird. I'm going to forgive both of them on the ah. Okay, and now Miss Brown. So, well, okay, so it's brown here and it's brawn. What was it? Brawned up there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just don't enunciate very well. They don't like my voice. Okay, so let's see. I sit up super straight. That's weird. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure I said super straight. My breast friend. That could have been my enunciation. The entire elementary school? Come on. And then carnival? We'll forgive them. And awesome prizes. Okay, so I don't think this is nearly as many misses as Google had. So let's count these. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna call it 7 misses. And for Google, I don't know. I got bad news for you, Google. This is possibly bad. Why are you capitalizing teensy? And see this open quote, only a very teensy. We're going to forgive them for the open quote and close quote. I was speaking that before I knew that they weren't commands. Okay. Google got the correct carnival. Just saying. So if we look here. Okay, so from my seat in the auditorium, right? Is it? Yep, from my seat in the auditorium. I watch as. Thank you, not is. Principal Brown walks onto the stage. She taps the microphone. Testing 1, 2. She says, okay, so it's spelled. Okay, so this counts against you, Google. New paragraph. I said new paragraph. I expected a new paragraph. Screw you. I can't take the suspense. And now, whoa, we're getting all messed up here. And now Miss Brown continues. So this just completely straight up froze here. That's pretty big. So what you're seeing here is it missed this whole sentence. I will announce who we have chosen to be the student leader of the carnival. Maybe I forgot to read it, but that's a pretty severe miss. Okay, so I sit up straight in my chair. My best friend Frankie is sitting on my left side. Good. Our other best friend Robin is on my right. The entire elementary school is here. Everyone is excited for the big announcement, but no one is more excited than me. So wow, it's missing words. Whole words. I'm going to make note of this. Holy smokes. Whole sentence missing. I don't know how many to count that as. Do we count like one miss for every word that it missed? And the rest of that sentence. And then this is just weird how awful this became. Because it was supposed to be, what does the student leader of the carnival do? Question mark. But it missed words and it went straight to the question mark. Put the words question mark rather than the symbol question mark. Like work with teachers to plan all the activities, comma, and help decide fun games. Why are you capitalizing decide? Yummy food and awesome prize. This is pretty bad. I don't know if I should count like the entire sentence here because that's one. Let's go through it. 1, 2, 3. Let's start over again. Sorry, my blip isn't really working correctly sometimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 words? Are you serious? And then this was another 3? Yeah, let's count it against them. Screw this. Let's be mean. Google. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to blip here. 19, 22, 23, 24 misses. Holy crap, Google. What? This 24, did I say? Doesn't matter. More than triple. Microsoft. That's pretty bad. But could have been the website. I don't know. This is just actually just strange. I've never had this many problems with Google Keyboard before. Um, let's do one thing here. We're going to experiment with this. Um, let's switch this up a little. Let's change things up. I'm going to close Google Drive. And let's, hang on. Do I know what library this book was checked out with? King County. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to no, did I mean to do that? No, I didn't mean to do that. I don't really know what I'm doing. Because what I was going to do is open the book on the computer and then read off the phone. But I forgot that I installed Libby during one of these streams, so let's just launch Libby. Libby. This is the Windows 7 Libby, or Windows 10 Libby. All right, go to my shelf. And while that goes, I'm going to go ahead and open up. And actually, before I do this, let me make sure I'm not displaying things that I shouldn't be displaying on my phone, like people's names and things like that. So I'm going to go into the Google Docs app. And how's my stream health here? CPU's looking good? Okay. Okay, now I'm into the same voice typing app. And Libby's opening the book. Wow, Windows 10 Libby, you are slow as hell. Let's just get that out of the way right now, Windows 10 Libby. And we're just going to go in here and delete what we had typed. And we're going to use... Oh, come on. Okay, I'm losing patience here. Come on, Libby. You were so awesome when I showcased you last month, Libby. So I actually notice I have this book twice. One is an audio book just because it's whenever Sarah Lanowski releases another title in the whatever after series, it's in high demand. So our library system will reserve 25, 30 digital copies, but then they're gone and waitlisted within seconds of the book's release. So to try and we'd been waiting. Oh geez, when did this book I think came out in April, if I'm remembering the release timings correctly for Sarah Lanowski's titles, and it just fell off our radar and we never reserved it. So when school started back up for the girls, we waitlisted, put the book on hold, both the audio version and the actual book. And okay, Libby, you're going to have to be closed and reopened because I don't have patience for you to take 10 years. Uh-oh, hang on. No dropped frames? Okay, good. I thought my CPU took a big hit there, but I was mistaken. Let's try you once more, Libby. Libby was awesome when I demonstrated, or when I demoed Libby last month. But I haven't really used the Windows 10 Libby app since then. I use it on my phone quite frequently. And I don't really know what's going on here, why it's so slow. Maybe Libby doesn't like me streaming. Maybe Libby has some kind of a stream guard mode activated where it doesn't want me reading their digital books online. I don't know if that violates any terms or anything, but I didn't read the whole thing. I only read a sample, a portion, a clip, so to speak, a segment. But she's just slow. And if we don't get anything better out of this, then I might have to turn to an alternative here. So I always have a backup plan, and I'm deploying one right now. Yes, retry. No kidding, right? We've retried already multiple times. multiple times. I'm signing into my library's website here on the other monitor. Um, just in case you're wondering. All right, let's see here. Oh, come on. Why do I have to keep doing this? I got to get better with these shortcut keys because it's going to drive me crazy since I don't need this monitor split in half. My phone is going to occupy just its own width. And I know the shortcut key to split a monitor in half. So I keep pressing. Oh, okay, I got books due today. Okay. Let's just read you in the web browser. Libby is failing us, so we're going to have to rely on the web browser. And you're not going to remember where we were? No, you're not. Okay, so let's test Google. What? I don't want this available offline. What's going on here? All right. Oh, let's try it. We go in here. We're just going to tap the microphone. And this is Gboard. So if you put Gboard on your iPhone and if you put Gboard on your Android phone, it's right there. It's built into it. You know when you want something so much and you're 99.9% sure you're going to get it, question mark, but there's a teensy chance you won't, question mark. Only a very teensy chance, period. And you can't eat or sleep or do anything but think about how excited you're going to be when you do get it, question mark. New paragraph. That's how I feel about getting picked to be student leader of our school carnival, period. Any second now, comma, the principal is going to name the leader, period. So I'm not going to go through and read any more than that. You could see this works fairly well from a phone. I like that. I like that. So any teachers out there that are watching, like, definitely. I can give you lots of compelling reasons to encourage your students to be using their phones in class. I know cell phone use in the classroom is just a global phenomenon and it's a battle that teachers are losing. Here's one way that we can kind of seize an opportunity to turn them for good. Wow, phenomenal. Okay, so that's the battle. Google versus... so let's go over a couple of other things here. So let me go back here. We looked at... First of all, get out of here, Libby. I'm mad at you. And then I can close this. Goodbye. And let's go back to our little agenda here. So we looked at the dictation command in Word. We looked at the Google Drive voice input. We did that on a phone just now. We also did it in the web browser. What I'm curious about, though, is just kind of the dictation and whether or not it's built across other Microsoft Office apps. So let's go ahead and close Word. Yeah, we don't need to save changes. Again, if you're watching this and you teach in the same district as me, you don't bother looking for this on your laptop because our ITS department has to push the latest Office update. We don't have this dictate command yet in Word, and it's frustrating because it is Office 2016. It's not like I have Office 2019 and got it earlier than everyone or earlier than our district, but yeah, it's just the latest update to Office, and our ITS department hasn't hasn't done the deployment yet. So let's just launch PowerPoint. And if you're noticing, you can see here already, we've got it in PowerPoint. This bullet point is super important, period. New line. This bullet point is less important, period. New line. This bullet point is not important, period. Yeah, I like that. And the huge advantage is it works offline, although I'm not sure that's a huge disadvantage because if you're using Gboard will its voice command will work offline as well, or its dictation input will work offline. This is just amazing stuff, folks. Like I said, it's fairly new to Microsoft Office. Dictation software is not new entirely, but just it's kind of amazing how seamlessly available this is. Now, one of the things that I want to search for is, if I read the tweet correctly, this we have one more thing to do, and I can't think of what it is. Oh, I know what it is. The last thing we need to test is this dictation tool from Microsoft Word. Was supposed to be available in Word Online as well. So I believe it's already there in OneNote. So we're going to sign in. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Office account. And let's take a look at it. I don't think it's in Word Online quite yet. I think it's coming soon. That's my notification to vacuum the living room. And I'm going to ignore it for now. Just waiting for it to load up. So it's supposed to appear over here. It's not there yet. Okay, I don't see it there yet. Let's test the rest of Office. If it's not in Word, it's probably not in PowerPoint. We're going to try anyway. But probably not, is my guess. It's not. And last but not least, I am going to go into OneNote. Let's find out if it's in OneNote online. I believe it is. Ooh, stomach's growling. I don't know why. I just ate dinner before I started stream. So let's see. Is dictation here somewhere? I don't see it. Let's find out where it's. Where is it at here? I think it's from the home menu. Yeah, it's from the home menu. So, okay, so it's not in OneNote Online yet. It's not. So Google wins that battle. But you can see that with Microsoft, it actually handled the dictation pretty seamlessly. I mean, it made more mistakes in the first round. The second round, it definitely made far fewer mistakes. So, again, I think that's going to do it for us. I know in the title I had mentioned the possibility of looking at Office Lens and the Immersive Reader in Office Lens. We're going to save that for the next stream because it is getting a little bit late for me. I have to start getting my daughters ready for bed. But thank you for joining. I appreciate any support that you lend. Just trying to do something a little bit different here on Twitch, and I'm going to be bringing some of the latest and greatest tips and some of the cheapest tips for people that are invested in education or for educators themselves. And I'll have this heavy spin towards the accessibility pieces. Since special ed is close to me, and accessibility is close to what I've always found to be important. So, thank you. You have a great night. We'll go live on Wednesday. We will do Office Lens and the Immersive Reader from within Office Lens. I use Office Lens all the time. Used it several times in stream already since I started doing this. But we're going to take a look at how the Immersive Reader has been built into it. Especially those of you who might be going to TwitchCon and you might come across like a lot of text and things that you just might not have time to read. We're going to show you how the Immersive Reader could actually assist with some of that and help you tear through some of the text. So, thank you for joining. You have a good night, and I will see you Wednesday.